Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you got up from a chair without thinking about it? Without that little hesitation, that split second where your knees protest or your back tightens up? If you're between 45 and 65, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to know. Your body is sending you messages every single day, and those messages are getting louder. That struggle to get out of your car, the way you brace yourself before standing up from the couch, the fact that you avoid sitting on the floor because getting back up feels like climbing a mountain, these aren't just minor inconveniences. They're warning signs that your body is losing the strength it needs to keep you independent, active, and living the life you want. But here's where this gets interesting, and I mean really interesting. There's one single exercise that can reverse this decline, rebuild your strength, and give you back the physical confidence you had 20 years ago. And no, it's not some complicated gym routine that requires expensive equipment or a personal trainer. It's something so simple that you've been doing it since you were a toddler, but somewhere along the way, you stopped. I'm talking about squats. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another fitness video, stay with me for the next 5 minutes, because what I'm about to share with you is going to change how you think about aging, movement, and your own body's potential. The squat is the single most important movement pattern in human existence. Think about it. Every time you sit down and stand up, you're performing a squat. Every time you get in and out of your car, you're squatting. When you bend down to pick up your grandkids, tie your shoes, or grab something from a low shelf, you're using the same muscles that make a squat possible. But here's the problem. As we age, most of us stop doing full, proper squats. We start using our arms to push ourselves up. We grab onto furniture for support. We modify and compensate until our leg muscles forget how to do the job they were designed for. And when those muscles weaken, everything in your life gets harder. Your knees start hurting, your back aches, you lose your balance more easily. Simple daily activities become challenging, and before you know it, you're on a path toward dependence instead of independence. The good news, and I mean genuinely life-changing good news, is that it's not too late. Your muscles don't care how old you are. They respond to training at 55 the same way they did at 25. The science is crystal clear on this. Resistance training, particularly exercises like squats, can rebuild muscle mass, increase bone density, improve balance, and restore functional strength at any age. In fact, studies show that people in their 60s and even 70s can gain significant muscle strength within just 8 weeks of consistent training. So, right now, at this moment, you have a choice. You can keep going the way you've been going, watching your strength decline year by year, or you can start rebuilding it today with this one fundamental exercise. Let's talk about why squats are specifically powerful for your age group, because this isn't just about building bigger legs or looking good in jeans. This is about maintaining your independence, preventing injuries, and keeping your body functional for decades to come. When you perform a squat correctly, you're working over 200 muscles in your body simultaneously. Think about that for a second. 200 muscles. This includes your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, calves, core muscles, lower back, and even your upper back and shoulders for stability. No other single exercise comes close to this level of full-body engagement. This is why physical therapists, doctors, and strength coaches all agree that if you could do only one exercise for the rest of your life, it should be the squat. But the benefits go far beyond just building muscle. As we age, one of the most dangerous things that can happen is a fall. According to the CDC, 1 out of 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths in this age group. What prevents falls? Strong legs, good balance, and hip mobility. Squats improve all 3 of these factors simultaneously. When you squat regularly, you're training your body to maintain balance, strengthening the stabilizer muscles around your knees and hips, and improving your proprioception, which is your body's ability to know where it is in space. This means better coordination, faster reflexes, and a significantly reduced risk of falling. Then there's bone density. After 50, especially for women, bone density becomes a critical concern. Osteoporosis affects millions of Americans and leads to fractures that can be life-altering or even life-threatening. Here's what most people don't know. Your bones respond to stress by becoming stronger, just like your muscles do. When you perform weight-bearing exercises like squats, you're literally stimulating your bones to become denser and more resilient. Research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that resistance training can increase bone density by up to 5% in just 6 months. That might not sound like much, but when you're talking about preventing fractures, that 5% could be the difference between a minor stumble and a broken hip. Let's also address metabolism because this matters more than you might think. After age 30, most people lose 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade, a condition called sarcopenia. Less muscle means a slower metabolism, which means your body burns fewer calories at rest, which leads to weight gain even if you're eating the same amount you always have. But here's the beautiful part. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, even while you're sleeping. Squats build the largest muscle groups in your body, which means they're one of the most effective exercises for boosting your metabolism and managing your weight. Every squat you do is an investment in a faster, more efficient metabolism that will serve you for years to come. And we haven't even talked about hormones yet. Compound exercises like squats trigger the release of growth hormone and testosterone, both of which decline naturally with age. These hormones are crucial for maintaining muscle mass, bone density, mood, energy levels, and even cognitive function. By performing squats regularly, you're naturally stimulating your body to produce more of these beneficial hormones, essentially turning the biological clock back. Now let's get into exactly how to perform a squat properly, because technique matters more than anything else, especially at your age. A poorly performed squat can cause injury, but a well-executed squat is one of the safest and most beneficial exercises you can do. I'm going to walk you through this step by step, and I want you to pay close attention because these details make all the difference. First, let's talk about your starting position. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, maybe even slightly wider if that feels more comfortable. Your toes should point slightly outward, somewhere between 10 and 30 degrees. This isn't about following some strict rule, it's about finding what allows your hips to move naturally. Everyone's hip anatomy is slightly different, so your ideal stance might be a bit wider or narrower than someone else's. Before you even begin to lower yourself, I want you to think about creating tension in your body. Imagine you're trying to screw your feet into the ground, rotating your right foot clockwise and your left foot counterclockwise without actually moving them. This creates tension in your hips and activates your glutes, which stabilizes your entire lower body. At the same time, take a deep breath into your belly, not your chest, and brace your core as if someone was about to punch you in the stomach. This intra-abdominal pressure protects your spine and creates a stable foundation for the movement. Now you're ready to descend. Think about sitting back into a chair rather than just bending your knees. Push your hips back first, then allow your knees to bend naturally. Your weight should stay in the middle of your foot, distributed evenly between your heel and the ball of your foot. A common mistake people make is letting their weight shift onto their toes, which puts unnecessary stress on the knees. Keep your chest up and proud throughout the entire movement. Imagine there's a string attached to the center of your chest, pulling you upward toward the ceiling. Your spine should maintain its natural curve. Don't let your lower back round forward. How deep should you go? This depends on your current mobility and strength level, but the goal is eventually to squat until your hip crease drops below the top of your knee. This is called a full squat, and it's where you get the maximum benefit for hip mobility and glute activation. However, if you're just starting out, don't force depth. Go as low as you can while maintaining good form, even if that's only a quarter of the way down. Your range of motion will improve with practice. What matters most is quality of movement, not how low you can go on day one. Coming back up is just as important as going down. Drive through your entire foot, pushing the floor away from you rather than thinking about lifting yourself up. Keep your core braced and your chest up. Your knees should track in the same direction as your toes throughout the entire movement. Don't let them collapse inward, as this puts stress on the knee joint. As you reach the top of the movement, squeeze your glutes to fully extend your hips. Don't hyperextend your back, just stand up straight and tall. For those of you who are dealing with balance issues or just starting out, there's absolutely no shame in using assistance. Hold on to a countertop, a sturdy chair, or a door frame. As you get stronger and more confident, you'll naturally rely on that support less and less until one day you realize you don't need it at all. You can also start with box squats, where you actually sit down on a chair or bench at the bottom of each rep and then stand back up. This gives you a clear depth target and builds confidence in the movement pattern. Let's talk about how to actually implement squats into your life in a way that's sustainable, safe, and effective. Because knowing how to squat is one thing, but having a plan that takes you from where you are now to where you want to be is something else entirely. If you haven't been exercising regularly, you need to start conservatively. Your enthusiasm might be high right now, but your connective tissues, your joints, and your nervous system need time to adapt to this new stimulus. Start with bodyweight squats and start with a modest number. I recommend beginning with 3 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions 3 times per week. That's it. Don't do more just because you feel like you can. The goal in the first 2 weeks is not to exhaust yourself. It's to teach your body the movement pattern and allow your tissues to begin adapting to this new stimulus. After 2 weeks of consistent practice, if everything feels good and you're not experiencing any pain or excessive soreness, you can increase to 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Stay at this volume for another 2 weeks. Notice I'm having you progress slowly. This is intentional. The biggest mistake people make is doing too much too soon, getting injured or burned out, and then quitting. We're playing the long game here. Your goal is to